Hello student, in the first module of the topic challenges to democracy, we discuss and thinking about the challenges foundational challenge of expansion, deepening of democracy, and then thinking about political reforms. In the last, we redefined the democracy. Today, in the second module of this chapter, the first of all we discuss role of an ordinary citizens can play in deepening democracy. Role by and informed citizens. These enlightened and informed citizens are actually, we can say, the pillar of democracy. These citizens maintain a balance between the government and the public issues. So it is the role of citizens to be enlightened and informed and play a role to maintain the balance between the government and the public issues. These enlightened citizens also form a healthy public opinion which puts a check on the unresponsive government and its policies. The examples of Anna Hazare's and other are in front of us, means it is their duty to form a public opinion as a healthy public opinion, and this is how they present this thing in front of the government and pressurize the government. These socially responsible citizens must act with a sense of discipline and responsibility, so that they try to channelize the democratic system by airing their grievances. Without a proper discipline or the responsibility which they have, realize that thing, they cannot channelize the democratic systems or whatever they want, airing the grievances. Socially responsible citizens also help in regulation, social reforms, and can put on rush and unsocial conducts. Hence, the strength of democracy lies in respecting the mind power of, and this is how in creating an atmosphere of a fair interactions of thoughts, approaches, perspectives of solving the collective problems, etc., and building the polity of free and equal beings. These are the duties which an ordinary citizens can play for the deepening of democracy, and this is how we will overcome the third challenge, that is the challenge of deepening of democracy. Major challenge to democracy in India. As we discussed in the last module, the main challenges are three challenges. They are the challenge of expansion, the first is the challenge of foundation of democracy, then the challenge of expansion of democracy, and then the challenge of deepening of democracy. Yes, we already cleared the first challenge, that is the challenge of foundation of democracy, which is in India. So the next challenge which is in front of us is the challenge of expansion. This challenge of Indian democracy involves the practical aspects. Obviously, for this, we ensure the greater power to local government, the extension of federal principles to all the units, the first level, second level, and the third level of the federations. Not only this, we expand it, gives more and more power to others, like the incursions of women and minority groups. Women and minority groups still have not got a proper representation in the electoral politics of India. Hence, electoral reforms and political reforms have to be introduced in India, which is in the third level only, where 33% reservations are there for women, but still women are facing, and there is a feminist movement for the 33% reservation in the first and second level also. The challenge of casteism, communalism, and political violence, etc. The first is obviously casteism. India is the only country of the world where this type of diversity is found. There are many caste pressure groups like the ST, SC, OBC, federations, etc., which influence those who are in power by different methods to get their demands. This is how these all federations and the groups influence the government. We can take the example of AIA, DMK in favor of the Tamil problems, and the party BSP, etc. Communalism, the black side of religion. When any person or anyone feel or realize that his or her religion is superior than others' religion, this particular thinking is called communalism. India is facing this problem a lot because India is a country of diversity where a lot of religious people of different religions are living in India. Obviously, this communalism, it leads to the formation and the growth of pressure groups in India, as we have a lot of religions, to protect and promote the specific interest of particular communities, like we can take the example VHP, etc. It also leads the intolerance and suspicions and fear towards the member of other communities. Besides all these, there are some other types of violence which India has to face. For example, the violence of terrorism, a major problem in front of world. The influence of some rich and powerful people in Indian politics is also a major problem, because these all things affects the decision of government. The next challenge is the challenge of criminalization. Many times we hear this problem in India, where there are some people who are doing some unfair things with their money power by the using of their muscle powers and by doing violence. We have to face, not face, we are facing this problem and has to overcome as soon as possible, and this will only done by awareness of the people and by educating not only the people but also the leaders of India. Multiplicity of candidates means there is a lot of candidates in front of us which also affect the system of democracy in India and generate many other problems. So we have to control this thing also. The lack of electoral ethics in sufficient society like the minorities, women, etc. These all things have also polluted the electoral by candidates is all true, and this is how, yet we do not know if it has led to decline of the influence of rich and criminals. Hence a meaningful and a comprehensive, that is the meaningful and comprehensive electoral reforms are urgently required. Though we do many steps, but all these steps are not enough. As I already told you that the step taken for women reservation, but it is the men who actually doing and do politics by the name of women only. So whatever, we have to need a lot of changes in our system to control criminalization and other problems. Obviously, the last and the most important problem in India is the challenge of corruption. Daily we are listening a lot of news about this. Okay, there is this ghotala and that ghotala, a Chara ghotala also. People's raising their voice against it, like Anna Hazare and others in favor of the Lokpal bill, etc. All those peoples, the enlightened and the responsible peoples, when they are raising their voice, they also present the data in front of us, which gives us that how much Indian money is in Swiss bank, that how much a person has black money and a white money. This challenge of Indian democracy is related to the criminal record and personal possession of politicians. Obviously now it is mandatory during the elections to file an affidavit giving the whole details of his property and criminal cases pending against him or her. Even then, we see that there are some candidates who save the money, all the black money, in favor of their family members, like in name of their children's or wife. But now, after the order of Supreme Court, it is necessary for all the candidates that during submitting the affidavit they have also give the details of not only their but also the whole family. This is how we try to control corruptions and other problems, the challenges which we have. That's all for today. This is how we complete the chapter challenge of democracy. Any kind of problem or whatever you want to say, please comment. Thank you.